Welcome back to the KIX 96.5 Morning Show. We love featuring artists you should know about. Today we're heading to Pittsburgh to chat with award-winning singer-songwriter Gary Pratt. Gary emerged as one of the most exciting indie artists out there with his 2021 album, Something Worth Remembering. He's been nominated and won numerous awards. He's working on new music right now, but just released the final single off Something Worth Remembering. It's called Before Someone Gets Hurt. We're excited to have Gary Pratt on the show. First, Gary, thanks so much for coming on.
Oh, no, thanks, Jeff. I appreciate this so much.
Well, wow, what an interesting story, Gary. Let's go back like 20 years. You're a recreational therapist. The place you're working for gets bought out. Tell people what you did next.
Well, I took a year off, and I tell you, my yard looked really good that year. But anyhow, took a year off, and then I decided, I got to do something. And I ended up getting two jobs, working like 60-something hours a week, two part-time jobs. One was night auditor for Hampton Inns, and the other one I was delivering flowers. And a year later, after those two jobs, I decided to open my own business, and I opened a flower shop, actually on a very low budget, small rental space, rusty old van and an old refrigerator. And I opened up a shop, and it took off. And 7 years after that, I bought a 3-story building downtown. Well, we're sort of like 40, 50 miles east of Pittsburgh, a small town called Greensburg.
Yeah.
And I bought a building there, and that's my full-time job. I have a floral and gift shop, and it's thriving. I'm always busy. And then the music also keeps me busy, so I don't have too much time for anything else, But, it was a blessing. Everything that happened for me to get, the florist business going, and how, productive it is, and how it has provided me actually with the financial ability to do my music.
Yeah.
So if I didn't have this, this business, I wouldn't be doing the albums, because it takes money to be a musician,
Oh, yeah.
But that's
not cheap.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now.
It's crazy. But what's the name? Tell us the name of the flower shop so I don't butcher it.
All right, it's called Les Jardins.
Yeah, Les Jardins.
It means the garden in French.
Oh, okay.
And, the way I got the name for the business is I was at a grocery store, and someone asked me, what are you going to call your floral shop? And I said, I don't know. So sick and trying to find a name for it. I think I'm just going to call it the garden. And here there was a French teacher standing in line behind me, and she was the garden in French is Les Jardins. So that's how we got our name.
Wow. You never know. And yeah, since 2000, he's been rocking. He's the best in the Berg. He's got all kinds of awards for the flower shop. So that's awesome. Well, That was 2000. So you're recording music off and on. You're recording a Christmas album. And then all of a sudden you get the thought to do this current album. What was going on?
Okay. I was doing the Christmas album, and actually my brother had passed that year. And I was still doing the Christmas album, and I got the bright idea to do an album dedicated to him and in his memory. And that's how this whole album got started. So we actually ended up recording like 24 songs with my producer, Brian Cole, and Doug Casper, the engineer, and Adam Ernest, actually, who's working right now with Luke Bryan. And he's also producing my new album that we're working on now, too. But that's how this came about. And the album, actually, I loved everything about the album. We were almost done with it, and I wasn't feeling really, something was missing. And I told my producer, and I said, I just don't feel right dedicating this to my brother. Something's not hitting me right. And even though I loved all the songs, so he said, let me check some things out. He ended up talking to Tony Arata, who actually wrote the dance for Garth Brooks. And Tony sent us some songs, and when Brian played this one song called "Something Worth Remembering," it just all came together. I knew, and every time I tell the story, I get goosebumps. But I knew exactly what song was going to be first. I knew what song was going to be last. It just all clicked, and so we ended up naming the album "Something Worth Remembering," and it was perfect, to dedicate that to my brother. So that is how that all came about, and it's been so successful, and it's really got my name out there, doing interviews like with you today, and it's a lot of podcasts and some awards. It's just been a big blessing, and that's God works in mysterious ways for me. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, you've been hills and valleys all over the place in the last 20, 25 years. Because what was the difference? Because you were doing music. I mean, you opened for Ronnie Millsap. You opened for all kinds of people. What was the change in 2021? Was it MTS? Was it the new music? What?
I don't know. I started doing, like I said, did the Christmas album, and I guess it just really, got me thinking, and got my blood running again with music again. And I really didn't. I had some songs out there. I didn't have a management group at all. I have MTS Records now. Mike Stover, who does an excellent job, getting my songs out there and everything. But it was just more of a professional. I just think another step up. And, musicians are like that, and writers, they always want to keep learning, and they always want to do better than the last project. And when this, when Michael, took my music and said, yeah, I'll help promote it and get it out there, it just made a world of difference, and professionalism of how this album was done compared to the other projects I did. It just made a big difference, and you get hungry for more. And this new album I'm working on, we're going to release it a little bit different. We're going to release it like song by song, instead of doing an album. We'll probably release so many songs and then release the whole album, which is the way most artists are doing things now.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a level of professionalism, and it just made me feel. That album actually made me look at what direction I was going to go with my music, and it gave me an identity, so that it makes a difference. Before, you're just making music and you don't know where you're going, but once you find out what your purpose is and what kind of message you want to get out to people, it just makes a world of a difference.
Yeah, go check Gary out. He's at GaryPrattMusic.com. He's on Facebook. I think he's just. Are you just on Facebook, Gary?
Facebook. There's Twitter, Snapchat, all that kind of stuff. I'm not too good at that yet, but I'm trying to get there. You can find my music on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. There's videos on YouTube. All the music sites. You can.
Anywhere you can find music. Go and check him out, Gary Pratt, or go to his website, GaryPrattMusic.com. Before Someone Gets Hurt is his current single that you're going to hear here in a few. Well, and you do something, a little twist on your live sets. You do it with Kate, who you had another lady you were performing with. They moved away. How did you meet Kate? Because this is like she's also taking you to the next level.
I just love her. It's really been the first girl that I've worked with that we're like a team now. And most of the ones I worked with before was like, I had to do all the work and everything, but it's different. But she actually, when the other girl moved away, my dad and mom knew her from church.
Yeah,
and she's the minister of music at church. And my mom and dad, they've always adored her, and they said, "Well, Gary might be looking for a new singer." And she said, "Well, tell him I'm interested." And I was like, my dad and mom really had to talk me into it, because I didn't know if I wanted to go down that road again. And, it's probably the best thing, one of the best talks they ever gave me, anyhow. But she's just been a blessing. She's grown so much, and our harmonies are just fantastic. And she's not just that, we just became good friends. And actually, the next album I have a duet on there with her, and she's doing some background vocals on some other songs too. So we've been calling ourselves Pratt and Szaller. Her last name is Szaller. But we have a page on the website that is dedicated to us too, and she's just a fantastic person all the way around. And I can't say anything bad about her at all. I just love her.
Yeah, go to GaryPrattMusic.com and the Pratt and Szaller page, or you can click right on there. It's at the top of his GaryPrattMusic.com and check him out. Yeah, because you did a little teaser clip of the new music, and I think she's either on the background of that one, or you can hear a female voice, so she's obviously involved in the new stuff. So
yeah, we did put something out there. And I listened to the album's almost done.
Nice.
We're going back in the studio next week, but we've been working on it since last January. So it's been it's been a wild ride so far, but it sounds so awesome. It's another level above that last album, and as long as musicians keep doing that, and making music for people to listen to, and it's not about all this fame or anything. It's really about just making the music and having people appreciate it and listen to it, and it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful.
Yeah. Well, Gary won an award at the International Singer-Songwriters Association Award Show a few years ago, and I was talking to Steve from the Cranberry Merchants yesterday, and I asked him, I said, did you meet Gary Pratt?
Oh, yeah.
At the award show? And he goes, yeah. He showed up in a limo. I was like, what?
Yeah, I did. Well, there was another girl, Ashley Puckett, who was going to the awards, and I knew her from through Michael Stover, and she said, "You going?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Well, I'm going to get a limo." I said, Are you serious?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I'll chip in. I don't care, I didn't know what I'd never been to an award show like that before, but we were the only ones in a limo, I must say. But it was fun. I took my mom with me, and we had a blast. And we showed up in a limo.
That's hilarious. You made an impression. Yeah, that's what Steve remembered. So that was good work. Well, you're up again this year. Now that we've had a couple years pass since you won, now you're can be nominated again. Are you going back this year?
I don't think so. I'll tell you why. Is because I'd rather go back when I have all brand new music. This music's been floating around for the last, few years, and I'd rather take that time and go back with some new music. But everything can change, and we'll see about that. But that's what I'm thinking right now. Yep.
Yeah.
But, the first time I won an award was because I won 2 international awards with the Singer-Songwriters Association, and we had COVID. Everyone, COVID. Everything was shut down.
Virtual awards,
pretty much. Yeah, and I actually was at a mall that day, and. Everyone's walking around with masks and that, and not turning people out, but I was getting something engraved at a place called Things Remembered. And I'm sitting there waiting for it because they weren't done with it yet. And I'm listening to the show on my phone, and they announced my name, and I was just like, I stood up and said, "Yeah," and everyone sort of looked at me really weird. But I thought it was sort of funny that the album's called Something Worth Remembering. And here I am at the mall getting something engraved by Things Remembered, and it struck me different. It struck me funny that was going on. Then the second year I went was when I got to do my acceptance speech, which was an awesome, thing to happen. And when they announce your name, you just sort of, I don't know, I was sort of like a robot. You just get up and you walk, and you get up there and you talk, and then it's like, what did I just do? But I loved it, and the people that I met there, all the singers, songwriters, and the people that run the International Songwriters Association, just are wonderful, wonderful people. And I've met a lot of good friends, and we keep in contact. When what's going on with their music, and like Cranberry Merchants and some other people that I met there. They're just wonderful people to know.
Yeah, it's a great organization. ISSAsongwriters.com if you want to go check them out. What was this interior design project you recently did? Was this your house, or whose was this?
Well, actually, it is. It's the apartment above my floral shop.
Oh, okay. So you're
yeah,
rental.
My brother had worked. Well, I'm sort of maybe doing Airbnb or something like that. It's pretty high quality.
Yeah,
I do have some people coming in. Yeah. But my dad worked on it. Well, my brother was working on it. My dad was working on it, tore down walls and everything. It's been in, we've been doing this since I bought the building, which was back in 2008, I believe.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, then my brother passed away. Then my dad didn't want to come up here and work. And unfortunately, 2 years ago, my brother passed away. My dad didn't want to come and work. And then 2 years ago, my dad passed away.
Oh, geez.
And yeah, it's been really hard on our family, and especially my mom. But that's part of life, and I try to put that in my songs. And in my shows too. I always tell people, make up with that person that you care about, or make sure you tell them you love them, because you don't know about tomorrow. And that's a big part of my show, especially that last album that this song's on. That's the kind of message I try to put out there, and that gave me sort of direction.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see this apartment done, so I ended up hiring people to come in and do the floors. Everything else was pretty much done. Put up lights and get the kitchen put in and put the fireplace in and everything. And there's still some things that need to be done, but sometimes I just come up here and sit and sort of, my somewhere back, talk to my dad and my brother, and hope they can see me here. It's like I feel close to them here, But but I'm real proud of this project and how it turned out, and the decorating and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Incredible. Go check him out, GaryPrattMusic.com. Go and follow him on Facebook. New music coming soon. What are we thinking? Before the end of the year, the summer, what?
Well, we're thinking summer. I'm not sure what song's going to be first. We were talking about a deadline. Yeah, what song's going to be first. But, if it comes out around July, we have a song called The 4th of July, which may be a good song to get out there. Plus, my birthday's July 3rd, so that might be
perfect.
A good way to open it up. Yeah.
Yeah. The new single is the last one off the album, Before Someone Gets Hurt. Tell us about the song, Gary, before we play it.
Yeah, some friends of mine from Nashville wrote that. Larry McCoy, Bart Butler, and Weston Davis. And I heard the song, and I loved it because it has some traditional aspects in it, and plus a little bit of some newer stuff too in the song. But it's written so well, and it's about seeing someone and just starting a relationship, and maybe knowing that it's not going to work out right away. And so instead of hurting the person more, or even being fearful, it can go different ways here in this song, of a relationship, and it's not going to work out, and you're going to get hurt, or you're going to hurt the other person. Anyhow, it doesn't matter if a relationship does not work out. There's always one person that's going to be more hurt than the other. And, that's sort of what this song is about, is, before someone gets hurt, let's not go any further, because one of us are going to get hurt worse. And so I hope people like it.
Yeah, it's an awesome song. Go and check him out, GaryPrattMusic.com. The album, Something Worth Remembering. Go and stream it anywhere that you listen to music. Gary, thanks so much for coming on.
Hey, Jeff, I appreciate it. It's been great, and thank you for taking the time to talk with me and everybody out there, check out my music. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Check him out. GaryPrattMusic.com. There you go. Go check him out. Gary Pratt. It's KIX 96.5.